Do your part. Invest in a water-wise yard and garden.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Alasia. I'm here at Watson's Greenhouse and Nursery to talk today about water-wise gardening. Let's begin with discussing the first 4 steps to install a water-wise garden. Follow these 4 steps to create your water-wise yard or garden. Soil preparation, plant selection, right plant, right place, proper irrigation, mulching. Before I mention that the first step in creating a water-wise garden is soil preparation, I'm going to explain more about how to do that. Let's get started. After treating the soil, I suggest adding 4 inches of compost, like this Grow Co here, and mixing it well into the soil down to a depth of 8 to 12 inches. Rich soil with organic nutrients is vital to the health of your plants. After we've mixed this in, it's time to select the plants for your new garden spot. When selecting your plants, use a water-wise plant palette. Drought-tolerant, shade-loving, or water-loving plants are examples of different palettes. Consider the location. Is the garden area sunny or shady? What are the water needs of each plant? What are the growth habits of the plants? Place plants in homes where they will thrive and choose ones that have the same water needs. By planting these in the same area of your landscape, your maintenance and water usage will decrease. Also, educate yourself on all the plants' growth habits and requirements, keeping in mind the scale of the area and the heights and spread of individual plants.
Installing proper irrigation can save you time and money. Making sure your system is correctly designed, installed, and maintained will help minimize the amount of water used and still keep your landscape looking healthy. Here are a few tips on how to accomplish this. When you're installing a proper irrigation system, it's important to use low-volume irrigation if possible. Use sprinklers on lawns and other mass ground cover. Sprinklers distribute water more evenly over a larger area. This is why they're recommended for lawns and densely planted ground covers. Use drip soaker hoses for trees, shrubs, perennials, and vegetables. Drip and soaker hoses are optimal for trees and plants that require special attention. For example, a large tree can require up to 50 gallons of water per day. To make sure that the other plants don't suffer, manage water distribution by placing a soaker hose near trees and shrubs. Install drip emitters next to each plant. The emitter should be placed close to each new plant's root area. Install soaker hoses so water reaches all plants. Use ground staples to keep both in place. When watering, always follow these rules. Water only as much as necessary. The best advice to help you manage water distribution is to know your yard and garden. Visit it often and see what's working and how your plants are responding to the different water levels. If plants look peaked, they need more water, or they have far too much water. Check to see which is true. Beware of these factors. The greatest waste of water comes from applying too much, too often. The result being much of the water is never absorbed. Instead of watering for one long session, water a few times for shorter periods and take a 15-minute break in between each session. This will allow water to soak in and will minimize runoff. It's best to water in the morning between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. because the sun is low, winds are calm, and temperatures are at their coolest. Watering during the day is less efficient because of the possible water loss due to evaporation. Watering in the evening may leave plants wet overnight, which invites fungus and plant disease. Make sure sprinkler heads are adjusted properly to avoid watering sidewalks and driveways. To minimize evaporation and wind drift, a properly adjusted sprinkler head should spray large drops of water instead of a fine mist. Any runoff means it's time to quit watering. Periodically check your irrigation system to make sure everything is working properly. A clogged head or torn line can wreak havoc on your landscape and water bill. Different plants need different amounts of water. Divide your yard and landscape into separate irrigation zones so that the grass can be watered separately and more frequently than ground covers, shrubs, and trees. To achieve the most efficient use of water, incorporate both sprinklers and drip irrigation in your yard. Know how much water your system uses. Water distribution will vary from season to season, so it's important to reevaluate your water usage for each season. Base watering times on plant needs. New plants will require more water to establish themselves. Once established, watering times may be decreased. A lawn needs 1 inch of water per week. Be aware that overwatering may cause lawn disease. Both non-native and native plants require watering during prolonged dry summer months. Use a rain sensor for automatic systems. Rain sensors are a vital component to an efficient irrigation system. The rain sensor immediately tells the system to shut off when it's raining. These devices are inexpensive and easy to install on your automatic controller. Once you figured out the optimum amount of water, program the irrigation system's automatic controller. This manages watering days and times. It's important to always monitor the water distribution. Check your timer settings once a month and make necessary adjustments. Keep in mind there is no substitute for knowledge gained from a gardener who spends time in their garden and knows individual plant needs well. Now, let's review the simple steps to install proper irrigation. Use low volume irrigation if possible. Drip emitters should be installed next to plants. Install soaker hoses so water reaches all plants. When watering, make sure to water only as much as necessary. Know how much water your system uses, base watering times on plant needs, and use your rain sensor for automatic systems.
Irrigation has been installed, adding 2 to 4 inches of mulch to your garden will help maintain the moisture in the soil. Now that our WaterWise garden is complete, let's recap. The 4 steps of installing a WaterWise garden. Soil preparation. Plant selection, right plant, right place. Proper irrigation. Mulching. When installing a garden, know a pro. Consult a certified professional horticulturist. Look for this logo. Certified Professional Horticulturists, CPHs, are trained professionals in the field of horticulture and are a valuable resource to you as a homeowner. To locate a CPH near you, visit www.wsnla.org. I've just described to you the 4 easy, simple steps on how to install a WaterWise garden. For more information on how to create your own private oasis, contact your local garden center. Happy gardening!